5 minutes talking and with no sound?
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Happy Wednesday, people. Welcome to the Kris the Critic Show. Today is August 17th, 2022, if you've been living on another planet. Today, we have two co-hosts. You guys are fairly used to seeing the beautiful, the wonderful Gina B. And we also have a special regular guest.
Yes, I love having her as a regular.
Third host, Shontelle.
Brian,
welcome to the
Brian,
show.
you gotta watch out. They trying to steal me.
You know?
Hey!
How you doing, girl?
Actually, I would have liked to have both of you on the show.
Well, he's being lazy.
He's taking a little time
Brian
off. He had to
Foster.
recover from the vineyard.
For those,
Exactly.
Brian
You know,
Foster
it's a hard
and
life out there.
Shontelle both do a show right after this show in the same studio. It's a great show. Do you want to tell them what your topic is? I give you a plug early today. One early and one late. See how I
We're
do?
actually on a bit of a
We're on a
hiatus.
Oh.
We will be back September 7th.
Oh, 7th? I thought that was 14th.
The 14th.
I told you.
Oh.
That's what I read.
That is not what we
Read
agreed
your
on.
social media.
But
girl.
nonetheless, we'll be back at some point in September. I know why he picked the 14th, because he wanted to get through his little stinking birthday party.
Got
That's
it,
okay.
got it.
He's a Virgo, too. That's right.
But yes, so we'll be back apparently the 14th. We'll see if that actually happens. On In the Zone podcast, on the In the Zone Facebook page, and on the YouTube page. But if you want to watch me and Brian talk about absolute fuckery, please feel free to go watch some old episodes, especially the one with Gina B. That was hysterical. Brian wasn't there.
That was
though.
so much fun.
But yeah, go check us
At
out.
some point, I
YouTube.
fell on the table and just couldn't stop laughing. I was just like, that was too much.
Was it a result of the little bottles that you keep?
No, it was not. It was a result of our topic and our questions that we were addressing. It was,
It was
a lot.
hilarious. We scared the men though. The men were scared.
The men were like, oh, hell no.
Okay, so
They should have been.
thank you for that. In the Zone, back September 14th. Today's show is going to call for a bit of introspection.
And honesty.
Keyword. Thank you. Would you date yourself? Right? Again, for those who are new, we like to entertain. We like to think we learned something. But every now and then, we take a good hard look at relationships. We try to add some value to it. This is one of those shows. Yeah, so I won't even go into what we all did this weekend. So have you ever thought to yourself, why can't I find a nice, pretty woman to settle down with?
Absolutely not.
Or,
I've never, that has never been
or
my
you
thought.
said, why am I single?
Yes.
Or, why can't I find a nice, normal, successful, funny man to come into my life and want me and only me? If you've ever thought of any of those things, show of hands, I have.
You
At some
thought
point-
about why
At some
you can't
point, why,
find a
you know, why
successful
was-
man?
I wasn't born married. At one point in my life, I did. But it might not be a question of finding the right person. It may be about becoming the right person.
Oh, damn.
You didn't
Ding,
even know
ding.
what you signed up for.
I did not.
Ding, ding,
This
ding.
is not what I was expecting.
I'm
Okay.
perfect.
Don't really get ratchet later.
Full disclosure.
Didn't realize there's so much introspection. Okay.
Before the show, I said jokingly, I think my life became better when I started realizing my flaws. I didn't know I could just quickly rattle off 7 or 8 major flaws that I had. But they got turned out okay.
We all have them.
Right.
It's just a question of how you manage them.
True.
Go ahead.
And before I turn it over to Gina B, because I'm increasing her workload,
Pay me more.
here's an example. Fellas, constantly complaining that others or any woman doesn't want you or they want your money, it's not a good look. People see that. Ladies, partying, drinking, being a lounge regular doesn't endear you to marriage-minded men. Now, take it for what you want. I'm turning it over to my co-host. I'll be adding in. Gina B, what are your thoughts?
Well, I did a little poll on my Facebook page today
It was hilarious.
of, I knew this topic was coming. So I was like, would you date yourself? I'm curious, right?
I'll pull up your
And
answer.
so immediately, Tons of people. And granted, these people are awesome because they're my Facebook friends and I think they're fantastic. But it was just knee-jerk. Of course, I'm fabulous. Of course, I would date myself. Of course. Okay. And I feel like some of those answers were delivered without introspection.
Read some.
Like, yes. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now, my cousin, my fiance's cousin. Yes, because I know how to behave and be appropriate in most situations. Okay, I know Richard.
Not in line with that?
Dude, I've seen, he's married. He's happily married and has, a beautiful family, but I think he's being sarcastic is what I think. Heather says she said she's just too unique to find in male form. Girl, you don't want to find the male you. You know you don't, because y'all would never go anywhere. Heather likes to chill. And my friend Derek, my friend Sylvia says, yes, there would be no unpleasant surprises. Which I guess might be one of the most honest.
Are any of these people single?
Okay, so Richard is married, Heather is single, Derek is married, Sylvia is, I think, single, not sure. Scooter is single, Sarah Jane is engaged. So there are a mixed bag.
And everybody, 100%. And I would like to think that list is probably, their thoughts are probably what most people think. I'm perfect.
Do you think they really
think they're perfect, or do they think they're perfect enough to want to date someone, for someone to want to date them?
I'll let Shontelle.
Stephen A. Most people are not reflective and not willing to engage in deep introspection. That's absolutely accurate. Because Shontelle, would you want to date yourself?
Hell no.
Why not?
Absolutely
Great, by the way. I applaud that. That's great. Go ahead.
It's not necessarily. It's probably a few of my flaws. I don't know if a relationship works if you guys are identical.
Would you cheat on you?
Probably. Probably so.
See, that is introspection right there.
Probably. I could be lazy sometimes, yeah. Probably Shontelle. No, I know for me, I need somebody who's my counter. Not in all aspects, but you need to be able, I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody. I know that's
You're a what?
super... Exactly, right? I say that. People are like...
I'm an introverted extrovert myself.
I only do a show every week.
They
I
think
guess
it's
to appear on other shows.
bizarre.
No, but that doesn't matter. You can be that, but this isn't a room full of people. It's different.
Yeah.
I'm more introverted than not, honestly, and no one believes that either. But
Kris forgets the first time he actually spoke to me. He said he thought I was boring.
Did you say that to Shontelle?
He absolutely did.
Man, I'm rude.
So clearly,
I apologize.
it's fine now. I was like, what the fuck?
He remembers.
I do. I remember the tone too. I was like,
you like,
but the point of me bringing it
those
up
are the first words.
It was the first time you actually spoke to me. I'd seen you multiple times at that point.
All right.
But that was the first time we had a conversation.
I guess I got some more interest than you. Continue.
But the point is, I realized I can come off pretty standoffish. I can, in certain instances, not engage with people. So I can see how somebody would say, oh, she's kind of boring. So I don't need myself. I need somebody who's going to make me be more social. I need somebody who's going to make me go out. I need somebody who's going to challenge me. And I don't challenge myself. I agree with me. So where would the challenge be in that?
And then there's also, people think of the benefits, but they don't think of sort of, let me see how I can make this make sense. How are you interpersonally?
Oh, arguing with me is a nightmare.
If you, well, okay, there's that.
It's a losing battle.
If that's turn your phone down. See, look, he talks shit about me.
I don't know how to control
it. But it's how are you as an anger manager? How are you as a fighter? How are you as a supporter? How are you as a friend? Because more than anything, I'm sure you're, I'm not accusing you of any of these things, but these are things that you have to kind of think about when, I know that I am a mean fighter. And so one of the things that I have to struggle to do all the time is temper that in all of my relationships, not just my romantic relationship.
You're a mean fighter?
Did you not know that?
You're a dirty fighter?
I'm a mean fighter. I will go straight. When they go low, they go high. I will go lower.
You going to hell?
I go all the way to the fiery seat, girl.
Damn.
I'm a really mean fighter.
I think a lot of...
Which is why I don't fight that much.
I don't want the femininity to get me, but I think a lot of women are pretty good at that. By the way, shout out to my cousin Arthur Scales. It's first time watching the show.
Hello.
Prayers out to his dad, my uncle Arthur Scales. Senior passed away. One of my favorite people ever, who told me how cool I was as a young boy.
Aww.
Set me on the path to being the play.
That's a little.
So that's
maybe
what
we don't.
need
Maybe
to-
we don't share that. Maybe that's not what we.
No, I
should
love
need
you,
to date a
cuz. Thanks for
counselor.
checking the show
I
out.
agree. Like,
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think dating somebody who supplements you is what you want, but you have to also make yourself into a person that somebody wants to date. So
I
if you,
agree.
if you just kind of check yourself on some of your shit, right, then that will help you along. Like, do you want someone who throws tantrums? If you throw tantrums, then maybe reel that in if that's what you do.
that would, yeah.
You know,
Do
if you're kind of hoe, do you want to date somebody who's also kind of hoe?
That's a good
But
point.
the issue is, how do you get? I mean, for me, it was how do you get people to realize or recognize? Because we lie to ourselves. How do you get people to recognize what the flaws are? For me, it was, man, I just keep trying things the same way and it's not working.
Well, that's the definition of insanity.
I need to leave these shallow women alone.
Yeah, that's the definition of trying the same shit. And
That was your
and
change?
looking for the.
To stop dating shallow women?
Well, you get tired of the drama, juggling women. What are you doing Valentine's Day? It's hard being a player.
I mean, hoes are entertaining, but they're not sustainable.
Fair.
No.
You know, what is my moon sign and my ascendant? Okay,
Did-
so
Actually,
I'm
know
a
this
Virgo.
answer. It's frightening. I know the answer.
You know her moon sign?
No, I know mine.
I don't even know
hers.
the moon
What's
sign
my
and
ascendant? I'm trying to remember. Well, I think Leo.
So it's a sun sign, a moon sign. It's a sun sign, a moon sign, and a rising sign. I don't know what an ascendant sign is.
That's
Maybe
rising
that's
sign.
extender. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Where's Jennifer Watson when you need her? So she's our astrologer. Yeah, so I'm a Virgo. So we're about to be in my season.
I'm Gina B.
About
What's your
5
moon
minutes.
sign? Is your
And
moon
I'm a
sign
Virgo.
Virgo?
I'll tell you.
What-
I'll look it up since Stephen A. was curious.
While she's looking that up,
Yes.
Shontelle, you date. Hit on men first. What are some of the things that you think that they probably, a quality they wouldn't date, but a lot of them seem to have?
Wait, are you asking me, like, what qualities do the men I date, they have a similar quality?
What bad qualities do you think men have that if they saw in a woman, they would pass, but even though they themselves
Oh.
have that same negative flaw, but they don't even know?
Lots of baby dead mamas.
Oh, I think narcissism. I
Oh
think
my God, so much of that.
I think if you all had to deal with the level of narcissism you all have, you all would run. You'd be like, "Bitch, get out my face." Yeah, I think definitely narcissism.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I'm
think
listening.
you'd want to talk to a woman who was a narcissist or was really self-absorbed?
Sometimes I think that men feel like they have the right to be narcissistic.
You know, in all fairness, they kind of do because women tolerate it.
Yeah.
And on some level, we find it attractive, right? Like I don't hate an arrogant man. Actually, sometimes I can find them attractive. So we kind of encourage some of this behavior. But an arrogant woman, oh no, y'all are spending the next 15 minutes trying to make sure she knows that she ain't.
Oh,
shit.
exactly. they won't handle that kind of that level of
Brian, our producer, the new me. You see how I didn't even jump in right there. But I'm going to ask a question, ladies.
Oh dear
What
God.
would you like to know?
First, I heard you, I understand, and I agree to an extent.
Okay.
But I've heard a lot of women say that.
Okay.
But let me ask you,
Sure.
who says they're sorry the least?
Oh, he always goes here.
Oh, so what?
I don't know.
Wait a minute, let's ask
I
Gina
don't
B.
run a poll.
Who says that, Gina B? You don't want, you got to
Lee
Tell-
says. Okay,
tell
so
the truth,
Kris
shame the
always
devil. I
says
asked Gina B.
women are slower to apologize.
All
That's
right.
his theory.
So if women don't think they're wrong more times than not, men apologize.
Yeah,
do
but
you,
they
do
can
you
be
think
hollow
there's a level of
apologize.
narcissism associated with people
Okay.
in general,
I-
or just men?
Okay, so the apology thing. Are you all, and then I'll answer your question. Are you all apologizing in the conversation, or
Most
because
times,
you're?
yes.
Well,
See how
then,
honest I
then
am?
the sorry is not like you're not doing anything
So
spectacular
why don't
there.
you all not apologize? Do you really feel that you've never done wrong?
No, but I apologize when I'm sorry. Unlike y'all apologize to stop the
We
conversation.
apologize whether we're wrong or right.
Exactly, that's the point. So you're winning a war.
If we didn't apologize,
And you're not
if
even
we did
genuine.
apologize, we'd just be wrong.
I forgot the question. What was it
No,
again?
I think that's
Okay.
right though. I do think a lot of men are narcissists. That's
Well,
a good point.
Yeah.
Here is the thing to know
I was
about
just-
men and apologies. Men know how to get to the path of least resistance with
Exactly.
women. So whatever gets us to shut up is what they're going to do.
Absolutely.
Now, that does not mean that the behavior is going to change. So I think that Now, you're not going to like what I say next, because I think that apologies without a change of behavior is actually abusive behavior.
I don't disagree with that.
I think that's abusive. Because
it is.
Because if you keep saying I'm sorry and you have no intention of like actually like doing anything different, then...
But it's not as abusive as someone who doesn't even acknowledge they did something wrong.
I'm not sure if that's accurate.
Really talking about women never apologize. I've heard this before, and I'm not buying
there
it.
are men who don't apologize.
Arrogant women
I use...
want to be conquered.
Right.
You may be correct there, Steve.
So Stephen wanted to know what my sun sign is. I had to look up my chart because I didn't
Stephen
remember.
is a genius.
So I'm sun in Virgo, obviously. Moon Gemini. In case you were curious. But why I'm a mean fighter is I think what you're getting at is because my Mars is in Scorpio. That's what it is.
Women never apologize. I don't believe you, Don. I don't believe that to be true.
Well, but here's my thing. I would almost rather, if I don't think I'm wrong, and if my behavior's not going to change, then why would I apologize?
I agree.
Because I'm not sorry.
So you think saying, hey, spouse or partner, I love you, but I really don't give a about your feelings.
That's what you're doing.
You can say that differently.
But all you're doing is saying the words.
No.
I'm sorry. And you don't give a shit. You're just kind of going to keep moving and do whatever you want to do.
First off, men have a lot of flaws, present company included. However, we really do try. We just mess up a lot.
Do you really try?
Okay, we're totally off topic, but we will table this because we need to continue this conversation at some point.
Here's something that I see both sexes doing, and I don't know. And again, I'm looking at social media. I will see men who see a flaw in themselves. Like, I think they take it out on women. I can tell the angry, bitter ones who's, they're just mad somebody did something to them. And conversely, and this is recent and no slant to the person who said it, but I have a friend who frequently talks about she couldn't date. She hates bald men and big beards, right?
Uh-huh.
However,
okay.
Does she have a beard?
She's a lot overweight. It is what it is.
You can't have expectations if you're overweight.
But I just wonder, is her criticism based so she can justify her overweightedness?
Well, okay, so I
gotta a counter to that, right?
What you got?
And
it was a question. I don't even know.
Well, I'm gonna ask her question.
Yeah.
We're gonna reverse it. So I have a friend who is pretty overweight. He's male.
Okay.
And he only insists on dating very skinny women.
Now,
because according to him, he does not want to look like 2 0 walking down the street.
Okay. Is he kind of overweight?
No,
or is he
pretty over. He's pretty
now,
overweight.
does
he's
he
fat
date
boys
these women?
overweight.
Yes.
So I don't see a problem.
It's the same question.
Wait, I don't see a problem because he's dating overweight women, or he's not?
No, he only dates skinny women. He won't not date an overweight woman.
That's fine. There's some men who like bigger women.
Well, then why are we asking this question about this woman who don't want to date bald men with beards?
Because the majority of, and I'm stereotyping, I'm speaking for all men and all women. Now,
okay.
I got to be careful. I don't want the feminazi to shut me
You already
down.
got one in the room. So.
I didn't make this up.
At least one. Go ahead.
Women will date Frankenstein if his pockets look right. Most men will not date someone, especially if they can get others who are more attractive, because we are simple and we are looks driven.
Well,
they will not date someone who is, in their eyes, unattractive. So to that end, he's not having a problem with it. So he's not complaining about it. He's not on there talking about big women. She is complaining for a reason. She doesn't have a beard. She isn't bald. So why is she complaining about him all the time?
Maybe she doesn't find that attractive.
I mean, you cannot be. Facial hair is easy. You just shave that shit off, right?
It's called denial, folks.
Like
I don't date short men anymore. So I've done it.
I've stepped on a few, and I'm
there
done.
are a lot of really short women.
I've never dated short men.
Who date
really tall men.
Really tall men. Why? Because they either want some taller kids, they know they're short, and they feel a certain way about it. It is what it is.
I'm not a short woman, and I've never dated a short man.
Lucky you.
Well, which is kind of more about how I feel about myself than it is about how I feel about them.
If you're not a short woman, chances are if the man is taller than you, he's not short, right?
Well, I've had some dudes all up in here.
But I'm
talking
saying,
about baby.
I don't know how a woman 5'1" has a problem with a guy who's 5'6". He's closer to his average height for a man in this country than she is for a woman.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, but what drives me crazy is the thing that we were talking. Like dudes who are not themselves, especially. My pet peeve is a pear-shaped man. Because no girl's crazy about a pear-shaped man, just so we're clear.
Oh, man with hips, all
No,
sad.
you can't
So-
be a
so-
pear-shaped.
but-
Talking about he doesn't date big girls.
But are
Dude,
you-
you are a big girl.
But are you
What
posting
the fuck are you
that?
talking about?
Are you constantly talking about? Are you posting that? Are you posting? But he can, because women will date Frankenstein if his money is right.
But he
hips,
can't
though.
talk shit, though.
Doesn't matter.
Like, he can't talk shit. When you got, look.
Al Roker
Al Roker
married.
also lost 150 pounds.
He's
Yeah,
still,
exactly. Thank you for
he's
that example,
shaped,
Brian.
He's shaped the way he's shaped. Listen, I'm not saying that nobody's going to hook up with him, but I'm saying that he can't be out here talking about, I don't know about them big girls.
But you know
It's
he
like,
will, though.
you're a big girl.
You know he will.
He
though.
will. He will. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what is happening to you?
Brian, that was a
South
good
Bell?
example. That was profound. I'm thinking
Your ass
about
can't
it.
be bigger than mine.
I'm like,
You're not doing all that.
Oprah has what, $1 gazillion and couldn't pay 70, even though it might be a cover up. We don't know.
But you know how many men said they would get with Oprah?
They would.
I'm saying
I've seen a ton of them. They like, I would be with
there
Oprah.
are a lot of not attractive in my eyes, wealthy women, athletes. Tough for them to find the man that they want. And I'm saying there are a lot of
I get what
very
you're saying.
unattractive men in the world of all races.
I don't disagree with Chris. I do think
Yeah, I was like, okay.
unattractive or socially unacceptable women have
Fair
a harder
point,
time
okay.
than socially, at least physically,
I'm
unacceptable
still
men. I would not disagree with
So
that.
that's just one aspect of what we're talking about. And all I'm saying is, in terms of if you're really, let's say you've been single, you've never married, don't have kids, you're like, I think I want a soulmate, I want a partner. If you're serious about it, then you have to start valuing things and not trying to improve upon yourself versus criticizing others. Because a lot of us spend time saying, well, they're not right, and they're not doing this, and he doesn't have this, and they don't have that, and why can't I find so-and-so? Well, they're out here. Whether you're male or woman, female, they just didn't.
They're out there.
Yeah.
They just didn't pick you for whatever reason. Usually that reason is ourselves.
Well, and the thing is, that's where the introspection piece comes. We're back full circle right now, right? Because if you find yourself attracting a specific type over and over and over again, you've got to figure out, what am I putting out there or what am I not that is keeping me from attracting the kind of person that I want to be with, right? Which is back to our first, would you date yourself? If you were the person that you're looking to be with, would you pick you?
Told y'all no.
You're like, hell no.
There's
I mean,
no
but that's
way
the
I would date
question.
my former younger self.
Would you date you now?
Maybe. No, I would.
Well, if he dated himself
You would
now, he'd
date
be
you
a
now.
side piece.
Now? I mean, I'm married, but,
Yeah, but you didn't marry you.
right? Well,
Would you marry you?
Mrs. Critic,
Right.
chime in on that one.
Would I
you do it
marry you?
again?
I think I would, but the younger me, I think, had more flaws, or glaring flaws in terms of things that form meaningful long-term relationships. I dated multiple people simultaneously, didn't always let all of them know that I was dating. I didn't lie, I just left it out.
Lie by omission?
You were hoeing.
I lied by omission.
You're like, I'm not sure.
I love men that I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you.
I know that.
That was
drives
hard
me
for me
nuts.
to say.
That is a topic.
I lied, and I'm sorry to all of you.
That is a
It
topic.
was
Watching
me,
the show?
not you.
Yeah.
Is it live omission if nobody asks?
Yeah,
It's still
because
by
it's information that you know that person
Hold on,
want
wait a
to know
minute.
that you're not.
Wait, we got to
providing.
get Brian on the show. The question was, thank you. I'm just apologizing. Just apologizing.
We
Just
have
asking.
nothing to be sorry for.
Well,
What do
Wait
we
a
want?
minute.
Shut up.
I would like the folks to hear what the producer chimed in with.
Okay, the
Yes.
producer
He
wants to chime
said,
in.
is it lying by omission if they don't ask?
And see, this is why I ask a lot of questions.
See?
Nope.
Okay, well,
My
let me
fiance will
ask.
tell you.
I'll ask
Yes,
Brian
yes,
this.
it's lying. 'Cause
Your
you
girl
know.
comes up pregnant. You never ask her, is it yours? You had the baby. You found out later it's not yours.
You didn't
Did
ask.
she lie?
Because you didn't ask.
No, she
didn't-
didn't actually lie. She might not even know that.
She don't even know.
She
He
might
is
not
such
I'm
a
sorry.
liar.
She's just going with the one who
But
looks
that's
better.
but
I mean, who
but
shows to her family
but
better?
that is information that she knows you would want to
Yes.
have. Therefore, she is lying.
And admittedly,
Because
she
she
knew
was
it was a
cheating.
possibility that it wasn't yours.
Shontelle, I don't know if you've ever heard that Gina B is strong on cheating.
I'm so strong.
She
on
says
cheating.
if anyone cheats,
We're done.
they're done. So
I've
let me
heard
ask
a
you
lot of
this.
people say that.
If you dated your younger you
I was never cheating.
and had a moment of indiscretion,
All right, fine, bye.
which is forgiveness with younger you, I mean, with that alternate universe, Gina B, forgive Gina B?
No.
You forego
I was
all
never,
the great
I've
qualities you
never
had.
been a cheater ever. Now, here's what I'm guilty of. I'm
Uh-oh.
guilty of cutting bait in 5 seconds. If I'm even like I would cut bait faster. than I
Somebody
would
tells me
cheat.
they've never cheated. I just don't.
I
trust.
never have.
I just don't trust them or her.
You don't
I
trust your
just,
co-host.
I just don't. I just never did.
I don't date.
Like I just don't. I don't think it's a good idea, and I like to be able to say that I've never cheated. I like to be able to, for myself. It has nothing to do with the people I've been with. It's just for me. For me, I've never been a cheater, and I don't plan to ever be.
I can respect that.
So that's just kind of my thing.
I can respect
And
that.
that's
I can't.
I don't know why you think I'm
I can't roll with.
I mean, it's the truth. It's like that's how
I can't make that claim for myself. But I
Shontelle
respect
and
it.
I are sinners.
I have other issues.
We
I'm
are
not-
sinners. Give me some. We have sinned.
Definitely have cheated. Unfortunately. Sorry.
Wait, who's a Gemini? They'll
She's
wake
a
up the next day and play like they don't know you. Now, I'm not a Gemini. I'm a Virgo, babe. I'm definitely a Virgo. 100%.
Should we turn this into the astrology show?
Yeah, I know. I'm
People
like,
are very
people are
interested in
very
what you-
interested in my
We
sign.
had one of our best shows.
My birthday's in a week or two.
Sidebar. One of our best shows was an astrology show. We had an astrologist on the show. We brought it back twice.
Maybe we should do an astrology show.
You should.
You sure?
Yeah,
You guys
can't
stop
use
me all
our
the other
astrology.
ideas.
Can't. Nah.
No?
Oh, don't get me started.
I love you.
Okay, now we're all off topic.
I love doing that.
You right. Let's get back on topic.
Okay, back on topic.
But
And
yeah, one of my favorite shows.
I'll follow the sword on this one.
I'm an
Would
imperfect
I date myself? I would date myself if I were a person with. I'd have to have thicker skin. I'm a bossy Virgo. Nera.
I know, Virgo's bossy.
Yes. Aren't we? Like, because we're efficient. That's why we're bossy. No, you know what's really
Sure.
funny? So my fiance told me in the very beginning of our, he goes, "You're the most aggressive Virgo I've ever met." I'm like, I'm an August Virgo. We're different. But
Y'all are.
we are very different people. Like, I don't even, like, some of those September Virgos, I'm like, I don't know about you. But yeah, August Virgos, different cloth. But if I had thicker skin, because you have to have a thick skin for me. Because I'm very direct. Like, and I'm done once I'm direct. And a lot of people are, like, not down with that. I know it's a tough quality that I have, and I try to temper it because I am. I know that I can be... Well, I can be a mean fighter, but I can also be a very direct person. But it doesn't come from a malicious place. It just comes from an honest place.
So
Chris knows this.
So when you say you're a mean person, let's say you're...
I didn't say I was a mean person.
Well,
I said I'm a
let's
mean fighter.
A mean fighter, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in a relationship, an old relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, you guys are disagreeing about something.
Just like your funky ass mama.
And you
Oh,
exactly,
shit.
and
I don't do
you
that.
you throw those daggers that women are so good at throwing, right? Would you be able to take those?
I'm evolved.
If someone said that to you, would you be able to just look past it?
Well, okay. So prior to my evolution, I feel like I had an evolution.
We all have.
I feel like my evolution was I would throw daggers. That's what I used to do. And I've tempered it. So previous me, no, I would not.
You wouldn't accept those same daggers that you throw.
Hell no. I throw some mean shit. Like, I'm telling you.
That
I
makes
can
sense,
be
though.
a
That's
very
human.
mean fighter.
That's human.
But I have like anytime, like there's value in biting your tongue. My parents spent years trying to work that out of me because they saw that in me when I was a little kid, and they were just like, "You have got to not like just say."
Well, you know why they
whatever."
say that, right? Because only if it puts you in a better situation. If you tell your boss, I don't care how right you are,
Fuck yeah.
you kind of suck, and I'm smarter than you, and I do this whole job better, and we really don't need you. You might be right, but it doesn't help your situation. So I tell people, if those daggers or whatever you say to anybody can somehow help your situation, but usually it doesn't.
They very rarely do.
You curse out your kid's teacher, you know what? Now your kid's a target.
Sometimes it just feels so good though, like just to get it out of my body.
That's true.
Like sometimes I'm just like, that felt great. Like, but there are moments where I'm just like, okay, Gina, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything, because you know that once you start, it's like an out of body experience, right? And now I'm like, okay, now the
can't go
floodgates are open, so we can't come back from that. So that in relationships, I have tried. Now my fiance might tell you.
He's like, what is she talking about?
Like, she goes in. But you know what though? I don't. So I choose my battles, and previous me might not have chosen my battles as wisely. Like
Right.
I might have just gone to battle.
So, I did a little homework.
Thank you, Stephen A. By the way.
I got some notes. Maybe you don't know. Maybe some of you are sitting out there saying, I don't have those flaws. And I'm just single because these men ain't acting right. Or these women ain't acting right. Here's some questions to ask yourself. Just a few.
Okay.
You judge others. And you do it a lot. But you rarely judge yourself. Right?
How do you never judge yourself? But
If,
anyway,
if,
keep
think
asking.
about you
People-
talking
there are
to,
people
think
who
about you
don't.
talking to your best
Never
friend
judge
Honestly.
yourself.
or talking to a group
They're
of people
always right.
and you constantly have something negative to say about someone who has nothing to do with you. But you rarely can say anything about yourself, which does lead to an improved you, as we talked about. So that's one thing. I'll just throw a couple out here and then we'll get back into something else. Do you criticize others or praise others more? If you criticize more than you praise, you probably need to look in the mirror. Ooh, everybody's
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, well,
yeah, I'm
I
always
already said I wouldn't date
I ain't
myself,
praising
so.
nobody.
Virgo.
No, that's not true. I praise people. You said more than I praise myself. That's all like.
No.
Well-
I said, do you criticize others more than you praise
them.
others?
Okay, that's another evolution that I've had to have.
Right.
Because I'm a Virgo, and so my tendency is to find flaws with things, right? That's like, oh, that could be done better, that could be done better. But,
That's all of our cases.
however, the evolution has taught me that when people are your friends, when they're in your circle, when they're close to you, what they need more from you is encouragement than they need your criticism.
Right.
Unless they're doing something really fucking stupid, in which case they know they can count on you for that. Like, nah, bro, you gotta reel that in. That's dumb.
But usually, if you guys are halfway decent humans,
yeah.
there's a balance between both.
Yeah, because you
Right?
never know. You can make the difference in encouraging somebody
Yeah.
in
If you
how
have
they
a
operate.
friend, and you know what, I got some flaws, but damn, anything they ever say to me is negative.
All the time. Why bother with that?
I don't
That
keep
person,
them people around.
I know, that person is going to have a hard time developing close relationships with people. And you need to just
I have
sever
a friend
that tie.
like that. I have a friend she's a lovely, I think she's a great friend, right? But being around her sometimes is a little much because
Oh, go ahead. I'm looking at Robert Mitchell's comment.
he said
You
he
gotta
made
blow
himself.
it. He said, but he not lying.
Well, I mean,
Don't you identify that early on?
as long as you know what they are. No, but my point is that she's embittered at this moment, and so she's like strangers are starting to notice it, and so it's like hard. Like I don't know how
Right.
she's gonna get past it, but
Oh.
it's hard. I hope she does though.
You guys want a couple more?
Go ahead, yeah.
Could you forgive others, or do you forgive others? Forgiveness is a hard thing.
I have
But
a hard
since
time.
we're all sinners,
I forgive people.
we've all needed to be forgiven, except for Gina B.
Well, there's this whole discussion at some point we can have around, do you have to forget in order to forgive?
No, you shouldn't.
But
Yep.
I've had this debate. I can never forget,
No.
which means I'm not sure if I
Well, I
forgive.
mean, if you forgive, to me, you shouldn't be bringing it up every 5 seconds. You
Right.
forgive and let it go.
Or you put them in a place where they don't have that opportunity
Yeah.
to do whatever.
Forgiveness does not mean you gotta stay in my life.
It's
I
not-
forgive
right.
you.
And
peace
it's
out.
not mean, it doesn't mean forget.
Right. Does
You know?
not. Yeah.
But, you should, if you truly forgive somebody, like you said, you're not bringing it up every 5
Yeah.
minutes. That's not forgiveness.
No, it's not.
I would agree.
Would you want to,
Especially I said it.
would
Yes.
you want to date a broke you? You
I
have
am
no.
a broke me.
Uh-uh.
No.
I would date a broke me.
Why?
I wouldn't date a philanderer me. Because if people living right, 2 broke folks gonna find food. I've been broke.
I'm not sure how.
I got 22.
I mean-
I had $2. No, I had $2
They figure it out.
right now.
McDonald's. Do they have a McDonald's menu anymore?
Well,
I don't think so. but-
okay. I would, if I were broke. Okay, so
I
there
would
are
start off-
people
go ahead, I'm
who
sorry.
are broke but they're enterprising.
All right, that's good.
So it's like, okay, if you're broke but you're enterprising, you won't be broke long. I mean, like broke is a state of being.
Yeah.
I take
Right?
that back. You know what? I changed my answer. Nope. Because
What is Brian?
if
Corbett
one of
say?
me was broke, if both of me broke, it ain't gonna work.
What does
would
Brian
have
Gorman
dated
say?
myself because I give what I wanted to receive. My dating failures was because I wasn't giving them what they wanted and what I wanted them to have.
Yeah. That's actually a good, like, are you, like, if somebody's love language is flowers and you keep bringing them candy, then their perception will be, he doesn't love me because he doesn't
And
bring
he
me
don't
what
listen.
I like.
Right.
He doesn't care.
Fucking
right,
listen.
exactly. I get it.
Would you live in a studio apartment with you? It's a small space.
I mean,
I got headphones, I'm straight.
I don't think I would bother me in that tight of a space. Because I know how to go and be by myself.
Anywhere, right?
Yeah. Even if I'm in a room full of people, I know how to be by myself.
I would,
Which
but
generally means tuning another person out.
Like,
Are you talking? Sorry.
I'm sitting here wondering, like, would my wife live in a studio with me? Probably not, especially with these kids.
I'm organized. Oh,
Especially
not
with these
kids.
kids and
oh
these
my
dogs.
God, no. The dog. Oh my God. Well, Gavin maybe, but not kids. Because, like, kids talk too much. And the dog is kind of silent.
Would you confide in you, and would you gossip about you?
yes and yes.
That was blatantly honest. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would.
Shout out to
I'm
you.
a really good friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like a good
But you'd gossip
talk
on
shit
yourself?
Yeah. I gossip on myself now, but I would absolutely gossip on myself.
I don't really have a lot.
All right, I want you
I'm
to
kind
stop
of
saying
boring.
that if you're really interested. You don't know, Mr. Wright might be watching this broadcast.
Then he needs to know who I am.
You better
That's
you better
right.
fix
You better own
yourself.
it, girl. I'm talking.
I gotta stop gossiping? Damn it.
Well, don't let them know you're
Sometimes
a
you
gossip.
just have to.
You
Sometimes
better
it's
have
like,
that flaw.
sometimes you
better
just got the
fix-
tea.
You
I'm
better,
I
this is
just
show about
like to
fixing
be-
ourselves.
I like to be authentic and genuine. I'm dating a guy now. He was like, I wonder what you're gonna be like
Do
in
you
6
like being
months.
gossiped about? No.
No.
You know, here's my thing.
Folks
As long as
kill
you
me.
have the story straight.
Then you don't mind?
Like, I've had gossip come back to me, and I'm just like, that's not even true. Like, and then I've called the person who was gossiping about me and said, bitch, if you just gonna tell a story.
Just tell your
Same here.
correctly.
Same here. Right or wrong. When I've been guilty, when I've been innocent, I've had gossip, and I always tell the people who tell me, you will probably hi and keying with their ass. The next time y'all want to gossip, y'all call me, and I'll tell y'all if it's right. Or else, tell him he or she is a punk MFer.
Okay.
And that usually ends that right there. But did you tell him to call me?
Hey, tell them to call me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't care if you, like, but as long as it's true.
I feel like the people.
Because I'm not that interesting.
I
if
feel
I'm
like
being honest.
people who, no shade, don't feel that well about themselves tend to gossip excessively. I'm not saying you're an
No,
excessive
I'm
gossip.
not an excessive
But there are
gossip.
people who gossip excessively. It's not even juicy. You know, they, especially if I have friends. Let's say someone's doing really well. They're not in our group. If that person spits out the car window, if they see any slip in their life, oh man, they having marital problems, they want to call the world. Even though they themselves are
Ain't
probably
shit.
living in the most trifling existence.
It makes them feel better about themselves in a lot of ways.
If you notice that you do that, you probably are going to have a hard time
I would
finding
agree.
or keeping Mr. or Mrs. Right. I'm just here to tell y'all. Don't tell me. I'm here to
I have
help.
a one-person rule. I only tell one person that's not connected at all to the situation.
You just got to tell it.
And because
I got
sometimes
a
I just
story,
gotta be like, I
and
can't,
I
I
got
can't
to
hold
tell
it.
Hey, this shit.
So, but one-person rule.
Yeah.
And that's it. I do not
Fellas,
like
if
tell
you're
the
looking for a
world.
blatantly honest person,
Well, I am
Gina,
a,
that drank most of the
I
last
am
one,
a
you
former
said that.
columnist.
it's no more.
No, what is that? Do
Don't
you want
worry
some
about
more?
it. Just drink it. No,
I
I'm
don't
good.
want it. No. We're over here drinking.
It's apple juice.
I am a former columnist, so people would tell me things. Here's what I found interesting.
I am not a Cancer.
The people who
Keep guessing.
the people who
A Cancer.
Uh-oh, Bobby
Shit.
Levy has
Wait a minute.
chimed in.
Let me
Stop
just-
it. Wait a minute. We pause for an emergency announcement.
Yes.
Bobby Jean Levy, a.k.a.
He's in the
my mama.
room.
Hey!
What is
Hey,
my-
lady.
What
What
I
did you say, Chris?
I said Jesus loves everybody,
Shit's about to get real.
and everybody's supposed to love Jesus.
If loving the Lord is
I'm curious
wrong,
what
I
So
don't
you
Steve
just
want
got
to be
real
Yes,
right.
I
quiet.
am.
You ladies continue.
Oh, mom came. Now you got nothing to say.
I told you not to be watching it.
She can't help herself. She wants to see her baby do whatever
Where do
he's
we
doing.
leave off?
Okay,
Oh,
Mom.
yeah,
That's
no
wait a
not
minute.
doubt.
Cancer?
Let me help my mother out. The show is about, would you date yourself?
Mrs. Levy, would you date yourself?
My mother's a saint, even though
She might date herself
Yeah. If she's the same, why
or not. We'll wait for her to chime in.
she She curses now.
I like it.
She didn't curse when I was a kid.
I love it. She just didn't curse in front of you.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
True.
Like
You
my
trying to
father.
say my mom? No, it's playing.
Probably. My father
You
is
talking
so
about my
funny.
mom?
My father will not curse in front of me, but I will like come in
Even
the
now?
house, even to this day. But I will come in the house when he doesn't. She said she would not date herself. I will come into
What
the house
the
when he's not
hell?
expecting me, and I will hear all kinds of things come out of his mouth, which he promptly stops when he sees me. It's kind of cute.
That's funny.
So everybody else thinks he has a foul mouth, but
Yeah,
Hey,
like,
Karen
I was
Allen.
talking about it.
you've been quiet
Karen
this whole time.
Allen. Karen, she said hi to my mom. You didn't say hi to us, Karen.
Karen's like, I ain't had nothing to say to y'all.
Would you bring you to meet your family?
Oh yeah, I'm a delight. Lovely around families.
You know who I
I
always
have
think
moments.
You know who I always think about that? And I'm not trying to crap on this man's ex-wife. He's a celebrity. He's a rapper. He was married, has some children with another socialite celebrity whose initials are KK.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What about her?
I wouldn't have brought her home to meet my family.
With
Why?
Tom
She
Cruise.
seems like she's actually
She
when
gave
she
head
dresses
on
appropriate.
camera. For my
Very
mother would
close.
say, "Is that the fast girl to Ray J?"
Well, how would she be? Is she watching TMZ?
It was
Like,
all
how-
over everywhere.
Probably.
Yeah, but you would have to like engage. It's not like she walked out the door and bam.
Mrs.
this,
Critic
this
said,
stuff.
"Yes, I would date myself, but
But
I would
taller.
date." That's date. Dance. She's dance. She didn't date, but she types fast, but taller. All right.
Steven, that's close.
What is
So-
that's a
Talent
close
on
guess.
concept? What is
But
that
I wouldn't have been
mean?
able to bring her home.
Well, he doesn't have a mother anymore.
But he had one for years.
I know,
and a father.
but
He's
I don't
still
think
alive.
he cares
That's
much
why.
about.
That's my point. These guys go to Hollywood and they get sort of crazy.
Well,
I think she seems outside of probably dressing inappropriate. Like she would actually be a really nice person to bring home to you.
probably.
Are you insane?
Well, I'm talking about
her
like her
personality.
Her
personality.
personality is she sleeps with people's men. She's a culture vulture.
That's not a
That's not
personality.
a personality, though. Like
That's
I think
a
that if
trait,
she,
I guess, but that's not her
well,
personality.
the thing about her that's interesting.
Sleeping with someone else's. She was, listen, the celebrity in question was dating a woman. I think her last name was Rose.
Oh,
hanging out together.
Amber Ho.
Yes.
They were all friends. And on the low, now, I'm not excusing his behavior either. Because I wouldn't bring him home either. I spend his
Yeah,
money,
definitely couldn't
but I wouldn't bring him home.
Mm-mm.
But what you'd want to be friends with a woman who's like that? She'd do that to you.
No, I
Okay,
have a
that's
standing rule
different.
that I don't.
Oh, it's different?
I don't.
No.
For her, I don't befriend women.
Well,
who
no,
do
I
that.
don't. I don't befriend
That's
women
my
who sleep
whole
with
point.
husbands. But I'm saying, like, do you want her to meet your mom? Like,
No,
but
not a woman who sleeps with people's husbands.
no.
She could be Miss Right now, but never Mrs. Right.
Well, okay. I mean, a lot of people probably think that she could be Mrs. Right now.
Yeah.
But he thought that. But I mean, he's not wrapped too
Plus,
tight in general. So
he
I
was
don't know.
obsessed over
Whores are
her.
usually personable.
He's. I mean.
What was
he's
that,
not-
Brian?
I said whores are usually personable.
Whores
Yeah, they're
are
very-
usually personable.
they're
Those
very
not
personable.
not my words, feminati. The producer.
Not the ones I.
Whores are personable.
Yeah.
The most personable people. So I've heard. I've been to 2 bachelor parties at a gentleman's club in my life.
I love how you
I
have to
sat by
quantify
the
it.
door. They're very personable. They treat everybody just nice.
They're
and
very
kind.
sweet.
Steven is gonna guess this. One of those answers are correct. I'll let you figure it out.
Wait, what was it? What was it?
He said Gemini or Aries. One of those is correct. He's guessed
Oh,
like
he's
5
still
different
on top
signs.
of the zodiac
Yes, he
sign
wants to
piece,
know what
huh?
I am.
He wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe he'll
I
Let me
mean,
ask
one
you
of
this.
those are right.
narrow it down, Stephen A. What do you
He
think?
did. He got it down to 2. Now he just got to pick the one.
This is one that's a little.
Okay, so what does Robert Mitchell say? He excels in social settings.
Especially
He's
this
along with lots of people, especially there's alcohol involved. Yes. So
Robert Mitchell is basically in Chicago. He's Kevin Bacon.
2 degrees.
He's one.
7
Everybody knows
degrees of
somebody
separation.
that
Robert
knows
Mitchell?
Robert Mitchell.
Okay.
Well, you know me.
That's
know.
why I was like, I
Well,
guess
know
I,
him.
yeah.
Here's another one. It's not necessarily obvious.
Yes.
If this is you, start working on yourself. Do you think about problems more or solutions more?
Oh, I'm a solution person.
I'm solutions driven.
Right, that's
I'm a solution
good.
person.
Some people are, they can only focus on issues that they have going on.
I'm like,
And-
how do we fix this?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I like
Every
to have
problem
good
is
problems.
solution.
I will even stop an argument and say, what are we gonna do to solve this?
Right, like stop
I'm
all
tired
this.
of talking about this.
Exactly.
There's hope for you, even though you better handle your business, brother. She told you what she gonna do.
I just had this conversation with I had a couple of my teams that I was on with the other day. I'm like, do not bring me a problem without a solution.
I heard that.
Do not.
I am an Aries. Y'all just gonna keep guessing. I am an Aries.
Are you a March or an April Aries?
I am an April Aries, and technically, I'm born on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. The very day they switch.
Okay. So Leah's Pisces Aries. That's how I can like him.
Hey,
So.
Gina,
The 19th.
The 23rd.
something you said earlier,
Yes, what's that, sir?
and we jokingly talked about women never apologize. Would you tell yourself you're sorry?
Depends on what the situation.
She's
That's
like
what I'm worried
this.
about.
I never apologize to her ass ever.
No, but it depends on what it is.
Well, if you did something wrong,
Like, I hate when people say,
I said no, if you
you
did
owe me an
something-
apology. I'm like, an apology is driven by me.
no, it's
You know what I mean?
No. So if I
Am I sorry?
stabbed you,
Maybe not.
stop. If I stabbed you,
Uh-huh. Did you mean to?
yeah.
Okay,
I
then you're
can
not
stab
sorry.
somebody
then.
on accident.
Well, let's say I did on accident.
Well, then you're not sorry.
No. But you are well within your right to say you owe me an apology.
We are beyond that. If you've stabbed me, I don't give a
Agree.
fuck
But
what you say.
What was an
I
accident?
agree.
A knife was on the counter. I bumped into it. It stabbed you in the hand.
I don't think that really.
And I
is
just
a thing.
said, you know what?
If it was an
That's not-
accident,
And this is my answer. You know what?
I meant
Your
it.
hand was in the wrong place. Why are you standing so close to me?
That isn't a thing. That is not a thing.
that's
It
So
isn't
this is not a thing. The reason I said those insulting words to you is because you did this last week. You've never heard
Okay, let me tell
You've
you
never
what.
heard that.
I had to apologize today
that. What?
because I
You're
wrote
growing.
something that was on a Slack channel that was miscommunicated, and I miscommunicated it, and the person took it the wrong way, and that wasn't my intention, right? It wasn't my intention, so I apologized because I really did not mean to convey the message that I conveyed.
right.
Okay, now, if I conveyed a message that I meant to convey, and I mean that shit, then for me to say I'm sorry to you is empty. Why? Because I meant that shit. Like
I'm
I
not
can say,
discounting what you're
I
saying.
can say, and then you know what? A disingenuous apology is, I'm sorry if I made you feel that way.
Of course, I'm not doubting anything you're saying.
That's disingenuous.
But there are times where people are wrong. I've been wrong. And I felt
I was wrong. I apologize today.
at the time I wasn't wrong.
Okay.
And I did the same thing. I wouldn't apologize. Doesn't mean I'm right. Because 10 other people could have seen the same situation and said, people I value and trust and are smart. You know what? You was wrong. Now, I didn't give the apology, but everybody and their mama know I was wrong.
Okay.
My point is, just because
Just
I didn't
words.
feel it, doesn't mean it shouldn't have been given.
So you're saying that the words
That's not what I'm
negate
saying.
the activity.
I'm
to
saying
make
not
someone
even
feel better.
saying the words means I'm not even giving consideration to what you're saying, regardless of what those 10 people who saw it say. And I'm wrong. I think the person who does that is going to have problems because they don't see reality.
So wait, let me make sure I'm following. The person who does wrong but doesn't acknowledge it is going to have problems. Is
If
that?
they don't realize it, yes, they're going to have some issues.
But see, wrong is subjective.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Sometimes, it is sometimes, but not all the time.
It is.
I think it's always
I
subjective.
mean, do I have to? Here's
No,
the thing.
no.
Are the words? See, that's that male apology shit. Because
So I
are
cheat
the
on
words
you.
enough?
It's subjective that I'm wrong.
Depends on the
Depends
confines
on
of
the
our
situation.
relationship.
Well, we have a monogamous relationship, and I just cheat.
Then we stand to that. We have that established, and yes, you were wrong.
But
Well, wait, I don't
point
see it as I'm
is-
wrong. I see that you were mean to me, and that
But
I
here's the
deserve to
thing.
cheat.
My point is that
Right?
okay,
I'm
so
wrong.
we're beyond
That
you
ain't great.
saying I'm
Correct.
sorry at that point. Like you can say whatever you want to say at
But
that
I'm
point.
wrong, is what
You're
I'm saying.
wrong, but that doesn't mean the apology is going to clear it up.
I didn't say that.
Does that
You're
mean
just saying that you're
you're
wrong.
saying
But
something that I didn't say.
Who was made to feel better by you saying I'm sorry?
I didn't
I'm
say
sorry, I
that.
got caught.
I know what he's saying.
That's
Like,
not what I'm
he's
saying.
that the acknowledgement of the wrongdoing is the thing to focus on.
Well, okay,
Right?
he knows
Am I
he's
wrong on
wrong,
that?
otherwise he wouldn't have tried to hide it. People
I'm
hide
saying
things they know are wrong.
If you
I think that's a foregone
call
conclusion.
yourself loving someone else, then you care about how they feel.
yeah.
And if you don't, even when you're wrong, eventually it's not going to work. That's truth.
That's not. I don't disagree with that.
I know. I saw Kris the Critic. Been doing this since.
We don't agree all the time, but
Kris the
take
Critic.
this W.
We don't. We don't agree. What does Karen Allen say? This is Twilight Zone crap?
And Jamal,
Why?
you're around the wrong women if you don't find any women who are solution oriented.
Jamal
I know, right? Who
Jamal
are you hanging
Machuca
out with?
says, I've only heard of the legend of Bobby Mitchell.
No, but I'm talking about where's the comment when he says, wait.
Ain't no woman up right there. Here you go. Ain't no woman solution.
Ain't no
oriented.
woman solution. Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, well, okay. Just
I mean,
because
if I'm
the solution
asking
doesn't
you
come from
for
a
it-
man doesn't mean, like, I don't have to get a solution from a man. I can be solution oriented without a man solving the problem.
This.
If I ask you for a
you're
solution,
like
I
that,
want you to provide it.
if you're like that with women, or someone is like that with women, chances are they're like that with men. They fail to see the flaws in themselves.
It isn't about, okay, I think you're missing my point.
No, I'm saying this is a relationship show, Gina.
No, thank you. I've only been doing it with you for 3 years.
They're fighting, help me.
I'm like, bonjour.
You know, every time it's two of them, they chest pump out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Right
know,
before
it
the
isn't
show,
even-
right before the show, Gina B muffed me and said, "You better just shut up and agree with me."
Wow. He probably deserved it.
Okay,
though.
do you see any bruises? Because if I muffed him, I promise you, I boxed for 4 years. I'm letting you know.
All of this, the whole show was about would you date yourself? And I think a lot of us, and we see it, I think social media is to blame. I think we are in a selfish society. It's all about what can I get from somebody? What can I get? What can I get? How can they make my life better?
What are you
I
getting?
need a man with, X amount of dollars because maybe I don't have enough. Or I need a woman that's super beautiful even though she's superficial because I want to look better when I'm out and I want people to think that I'm a colder guy.
Who is
because of
y'all? What is he talking about?
Y'all get offended, but women, we're all,
I'm not
all
getting offended at all during this.
You believe Chris? Okay, you can go ahead and believe Chris. Jamal. Go ahead. And
You know what I like about Jamal Machuca? I figured him out.
They have you.
He likes to see. He likes to see.
He
just likes the
agent
show
of
to
chaos.
be good.
Agent of chaos.
I'm not
But it's
mad about
founded-
chaos,
it's
but it's
founded-
like,
it's
as long as it
founded-
makes sense.
In a lot of truth, even when I disagree.
Okay.
All right,
That's
anyway,
fine. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm just, entitled to mine too.
we appreciate you on the Kris the Critic show.
We do.
Yeah, I think we are a materialistic society, and I keep going to that. And I think a lot of that is based in this. I think, whether it's a church group, whether it's a social group, there's something flying around.
Yeah, it's a fly. It's driving me
it's
insane.
He must like Gina B's alcohol or my
They
alcohol.
like my perfume.
Oh, could be that.
But a lot of it, I think, if we let go of that and started, we're almost at the end of the show, and started,
We can just, there's no show.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there's no show after,
There's no
so
show.
Yeah, so we can just.
You take another
if
10 minutes.
we started thinking more about winning as a couple once you get to that point,
Yes.
not starting out, versus I want to be right. And a lot of us just want to be right. And
Yeah,
same
I would agree
reason
with that.
we'll tell off our kid's teacher, or we'll shout at our boss. Now we were right, but now you have no advance for it.
Right.
No room for advancement.
Career
at
limiting
this company.
moves. Right.
A CLM. Exactly.
Yep.
And how often does that happen in life and in relationships? What? We will say something. Somebody said it earlier. How they fight with words. Sometimes words hurt, right?
I said
And
it
if you
earlier.
allegedly say something to somebody, you know what? You were that selfish to call his mama a dirty little bee.
Damn.
And that's like the hardest thing you can say to a guy, right? That you just basically said, I really don't care about being with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about your mama. I
Once
don't.
that comes out of your mouth,
That which you love the most, I just crapped on.
right?
So, because I wanted to be right.
But I
and I
wanted
see
to
people
hit
do that
you
with
hard.
their friends. Okay, they show off. Okay, I will quote the great Steve.
Jobs?
Yeah.
Don't know how.
Died.
Come on, there's a lot of Steve.
Apple-
Right, Steve
I'm like,
Martin.
Wonder. Yeah,
Apple
anyway,
founder died at 56, pancreatic cancer.
Aw.
And we can keep going
So
after this
sad.
for a couple minutes,
Okay,
but I
sure.
got to go home. I got stuff to do. Listen up, people.
Mm-hmm.
Treasure love for your family, love for your spouse. Treat yourself well. Cherish others. We grow older and hopefully wiser
You hope.
When we realize that a $3,000 watch or a $30 watch tell the same time, you'll realize your inner happiness does not come from material things. In this world, whether you fly first class or economy, if the plane goes down, you go down with it.
You do.
I think that was very profound from a man who was looking at death at 56, and he probably ascended to the highest possible point in the business world. But I think it's very apropos when we're talking about, we see somebody, we get a click, a spark, we go out, we date, and then we get in our own way. You know, we get in our own way in life.
Yeah.
It's not you broke because nobody gave you a chance. No, every place you foster a lot of bad relationships, right? And I think when a person can, it's hard to give, especially if you've been hurt or if you've come from marginalized conditions, you become a little selfish. But sometimes, in order for you to grow with somebody, you're going to have to be vulnerable. Or else you're not going to grow.
That's so true.
I
agree with that. I think that you just have to.
That's very profound.
There's a lot that you
I do my homework.
I see that.
That's what I do.
There's a lot of things about yourself that you're going to have to concede on and work on in order to be a successful partner. You know, which is why when people have the knee-jerk reaction that, oh yeah, I date myself. It's like, well.
So go out there and fix y'all broken ass sales for y'all trying to find somebody.
It's a thing.
Shontelle, any closing words before Gina B takes us out?
Well, first, thank you guys for having me.
You're always a pleasure.
Always fun coming on here. Just to recap, In the Zone podcast, which comes on immediately after the show at 7:10 Central Standard Time, is on a hiatus into apparently September 14th. I'm not really rolling with that date, but whatever. In the meantime, we have our Facebook page that has our previous episodes. Gina was on one. It was a lot of fun. Definitely go watch that or any others that strike your fancy. Or go to the In the Zone podcast YouTube. Same videos on there. We'd love to see you guys. We also comment back. So if you add us, Brian and I will comment back at you. So.
And until you guys are off hiatus, you are always welcome to come and sit in on the show.
We just gonna come in every week
so
until
you come in next week.
You can come next week because I might be on a flight.
And I might take a day off one day. Maybe you do the whole show.
Yeah, next week.
We're gonna take relationships. Relationships suck. That's gonna be the whole thing.
So you might want.
All right, Jenny B, take us out of here.
I will take you guys out. So, if you think that you're perfect and you would date yourself, I suggest you dig a little deeper, just to make sure there are not some housekeeping issues that you might need to address to find that perfect partner. I'm just saying.
Especially if you're a man or woman and you've been single forever. Yeah, it's you. True facts.
It could be you. And if you're not attracting the person that you're looking to attract, then do that work too and see what you're putting out there that might be getting you the wrong folks.
Not the
bad
plastic work, but work.
Hey,
yeah, not the BBLs.
Some of that.
Hey,
some of it's good work.
If it looks good.
That's the show. That's the show next week.
Does it look good?
The BBLs?
That's the show.
You think they look good?
Some do. Some, I said some.
What is that?
All right.
But that's all plastic surgery. That's
what do you think about
these?
these? I'm going to show you guys before we close out.
Y'all don't want to talk about the
I
psychology
saw this,
today?
And I only took a picture of it because I wanted to see how real it looked. I might have erased it.
You may be racist.
Are these real cheeks or fake?
Did you take that picture in the store?
First of all, I need her to turn
I do too. Like,
forward, and then that would answer all my questions.
I have more problems with all those tattoos.
Doesn't it?
It looks awkward.
It does. It looks like there's...
I did that for scientific reasons.
It looks like a bad...
Anyway. Kris the Critic, Gina B and Shontelle, we out of here like last year. Come back next week. Share the show. Like the show. Follow Kris the Critic. Do all that. Brian Gorman, thank you for producing another wonderful show. And thank you all for joining the show. Peace and love. We out of here.